Help us welcome our first storyteller, Mark Allen.
Thank you, guys. One day, I got a telephone call from a producer at this soap opera, The Young and the Restless, because they were looking for someone to play a bit part in a scene where a male stripper surprises a bride-to-be at a restaurant bachelorette dinner party. And he called me because I thought I'd be good for the part. It was a nice little role. There were some lines, he had to do a stripper scene. And the best thing about the part was it paid really, 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 really well. The bad thing about the audition was he called me at 5 p.m. and the audition was the next morning at 9:30. Now, I told him I was definitely interested in doing it. It wasn't much time to prepare. He said, great, bring clothes you want to strip out of, and bring music that you want to play, and we'll run through it all. I was like, great, see you then. I got the address, hung up the phone. And then I thought, oh, what am I going to do? And you know, I began to think, and I thought, I've never seen The Young and the Restless, but I know what they're looking for. You know, they want me scantily clad and not add anything to the narrative, but I had to have something to get scantily clad out of. And they were looking for something like a Chippendales dancer, you know, where they dance like this and they have breakaway pants. You know what breakaway pants are? They're the pants that you have and you pull them off, it's like pow, and you have the G-string right there. They wanted someone like that. And he had called me for the audition because he had seen me dancing at clubs and gay clubs in New York City for years, and he thought I'd be good for the part. There are some pictures of me they provided. And so I agreed, but I had my own style, but I didn't have any breakaway pants because I always associated breakaway pants with straight, muscly, overly tan guys with mullets from New Jersey who danced at Splash and who were my competition and that I hated. And all my dancing friends, we didn't like breakaway pants. So, but I really felt like I had to have them. And also, I happened to have a roommate at the time who was also this homeless guy that I convinced to live with me, and then later I learned he escaped from this juvenile facility in upstate New York, and he was officially wanted by the police while he lived with me. That's a whole other story, but the important part is he wanted to help me find breakaway pants for the audition tomorrow, so he started going through his hobo bag of victuals, and he was pulling all his club kid outfits out, because he was like a club kid, and he's like, what about this? This is like breakaway pants, what about this? What about that? I was like, no, no, no. And one of the pairs of pants he pulled out was like this thing that looked like pink harem pants designed for a 12-year-old girl. They were like a tight, big waist and puffy pink legs and then these tiny little ankle things. And I said, what are those? And he goes, Lady Bunny took these off in the back of Limelight at 4 a.m. one night and handed them to me, and I just never gave them back. I didn't ask any more questions. I said, put them away. I would never wear those. Finally, I called some friends, and all my stripper friends were like, dude, I wouldn't be caught dead in breakaway pants. I don't have any. But I finally found some, and a friend of mine claimed that he got some as a joke one time. And he said, if you can find them in my closet, you can have them. I found them, and they were perfect. It was a breakaway outfit. It was like pants with yellow and white and blue stripes, and a jacket that matched, and all of it popped right off. And the jacket and the pants had long fringe. And on the back of the jacket, in white letters, it said, Renegade. I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what Young and the Restless is looking for. I'm just going to cheese this out totally. I'm going to wear this outfit. I'm going to dance like this. I'm going to get a G-string with like a tuxedo on it or a hot dog or something like that. And just be like, and the music I bring, it's going to be like CNC Music Factory's I Got the Power or Oh Yeah by Yellow. And it's going to be like this the whole time. Great. So I laid out my breakaway pants outfit on the kitchen table, went to bed dreaming of being on Young and the Restless and getting all this money. I woke up the next morning, my roommate comes into the room and he goes, Mark, we got a cat. He goes, Mark, the cat is really sick. And I was like, what? He goes, come here. And we go into the kitchen, and the cat, during the night, had crawled up onto the kitchen table and thrown up all over my breakaway outfit. All over the jacket, the pants, it was in the fringe, it was gross, dark, staining, smelly cat puke. It smelled like our cat had eaten another cat and thrown it up. And then we looked in the living room, and the cat was in the living room going, and we're like, oh my god. So I had the classic dilemma. I was like, my outfit's ruined and the audition's in 3 hours, what will I do? So I jumped in the shower, I was like, I'm late already. It's like, oh my god, and I rethink my strategy. I was like, I'm just gonna wear my normal like underwear and boots. I'm just gonna be myself at this audition. I'm not gonna, do what they want. And so I yell from the shower, I go, roommate, put my backup stripper stuff in that bag in the living room, in my bag by the door, because I'm running late, I just want to leave. And he goes, okay. And so I finish the shower, I get out, grab the bag, get on the subway, go to the building in Queens where they take the Young and the Restless in this like warehouse district. And I meet the guy, he's really nice, he introduces me to the woman who casts everyone on the Young and the Restless. And she's this kooky woman who's short and kind of wide, and her hair is pulled up in this like plastic clip. And she has a really fat stomach, but she's wearing a halter like bra top, so her stomach is kind of sticking out, but whatever, I thought it was a little odd. And he says, great, Mark, good to meet you. Give me your CDs, we'll cue the music in the audition room. You go into the dressing room and get changed into your outfit, and come out, we'll run through it, and we'll talk about the role. And I was like, great. And I went there, I was like, oh, it sounds like I totally got this. You know, the audition is just a formality. And so I go and I open the bag. My roommate had misunderstood my directive from the shower. He didn't put my bag of stripper clothes in the bag. He put his bag of hobo club kid things into my bag. I was pulling out like hats that were like, looked like French fries and like clown noses and like women's lingerie, real women's lingerie. All I had on was my white Oxford shirt, baggy jeans, gross stretched out Hanes boxer shorts that I wore in the audition, huge boots and thick socks. And I couldn't find anything. I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? But I knew I had the part, but I had to audition. So I was like, I had to just audition. But what am I gonna wear? I can't go, can I wrap my shirt around my thing? And I can't wear my jeans, and I can't wear this underwear. So finally, the one thing I pull out that looks like I could possibly wear and pull off is the crazy harem pants that are bright pink that Lady Bunny gave to him at the Limelight. So I try to put them on, and I'm putting my legs through the pants. It's like, pow! And I finally pop my feet through the tiny little ankle holes, and they look like this, they're like this. And I put my Oxford shirt over it, and then I realized I can't wear my boots with these pants because I have to get them off, and I can't get them over the boots, so I'll have to be barefoot. And this brings up another problem. Those that know me intimately know that on my big right toe, I have a very small, tiny, itty-bitty little toenail fungus problem. And I'm very self-conscious about it. No one ever notices it, but I'm always pointing it out. I'm really weird about it. And like most dermatologists will tell you, there's nothing you can really do about it. You just have to kind of live with it. So it's kind of yellow, my toenail. And so I thought, oh God, I'm gonna go out and be the barefoot stripper, and I'm gonna also have toenail fungus. It's like, what am I gonna do? But I've gotta go out there. I can't walk out with like the classic excuse, the cat threw up in my breakaway outfit. So I decided just be confident and go out there, just own the moment, just own the audition. So I go out confidently, and I walk into the audition room, and I open the door, I think, don't mention the toenail fungus, don't mention the toenail fungus, and I look right at the woman, and she looks at me and smiles, and I said, I'm barefoot, and I want to tell you now, I have a little bit of toenail fungus. My insecurity caused madness, and her reaction was not good. She went, ew, and then she looked at me like I had a turd on my nose. And I thought, that's a strike against me. I just walked right past her to the guy that knew me. And he's standing there at the jam, he has a jam box on the table, and he's looking at me and holding my CDs. He goes, oh, Mark, I'm really sorry. I forgot. This jam box doesn't have a CD player. I'm so sorry. We can't play your CDs. I was like, what? You're kidding. This jam box was like covered in dust. It looked like it was from a relic from like 1984. And I said, well, is there a radio? And he's like, no. And I was like, oh. What are we going to do? And he looks at the thing and goes, oh my God, look, there's a tape in it. Let's play it and see what's on it. So he pushes the play button, and out comes Enya's Sail Away. Not only is it Enya's Sail Away, but the tape player is so old, and the tape is so old, that it's warbling. So it's like, sail away, sail away, sail away. And just when I think things couldn't possibly get worse, the woman who I offended by admitting about my toenail fungus suddenly looks up into the air, and she goes, oh my God, I love that song. So warbly Sail Away it was. And so I turn around to go audition, and the guy grabs my arm, and he leans towards me, and he whispers in my ear, he goes, Mark, butch it up. Butch it up is not the direction you want to hear when you're about to blow people away with Enya, toenail fungus, and Patricia Fields, fluorescent pink pantaloons. But I didn't care. The music started, and he hit the button, and it starts going dun 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 dun. And I start dancing, and I'm moving, and I'm dancing, like, yeah, I'm thinking, I just give them what they want, act cheesy, act cheesy. And I rip my Oxford shirt off like this, and the button pop off, and pew, fly across the room, and I'm shaking it, and I'm moving towards the table, and the pantaloons are flying, and my bare feet are going, squeak, 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 on the tile floor, and I'm like not letting it get to me, and the expression on my face is smiling, and I'm moving, and now it's time to take the pants off. So I start to move the pants. They invented breakaway pants because as a stripper, you never want to take off real pants. That's why they invented breakaway pants. There's no good way to do it. You have to sit on your butt on the floor and then slowly pull each leg off and then pull the pants off. You can't, it doesn't look erotic, it looks like you're taking a crap. So that's why they invented breakaway pants. So, but I had to do that. I got on my butt on the floor and I'm pulling these crazy pantaloons off and the music's going like, on the shore though too. And I'm going like this, you know, and I'm pulling the pants and I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I start to pull the pants inside out and I'm pulling them off my feet and then I realize that the ankle things are so tight and now they're doubled and inside out, they're not coming off my feet. And I'm pulling like this and I'm going, yeah, yeah. So I lift my legs up and I do my back like this, I got a 45-degree angle, and I hold the pants, I start to spin like breakdancing. I'm like going, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to pull up, and then I get on my stomach, and I bend my knees, and I pull the pants over my head, and I'm going, yeah, yeah, trying to yank them off to the beat. And then I do my legs like this, I pull the pants between me, and I bite them with my teeth. And finally I realize they're not going to come off, and so I stand up, and I have these like pink fabric things attached to my feet coming up like this, and I can't just let it drop on the floor, so I'm holding it like this and stomping towards them, you know, and I'm trying to think like restaurant, bachelorette party at a restaurant, you know, the rest of all the yuppie girls are clapping, and here I'm going, and I look like some 70s modern interpretive dance, like Mum and Chance or something, and I'm coming towards them. The looks on their faces weren't good. I wasn't getting good feedback, but I didn't care. I just kept going forward and going forward. I'm swinging the pants like this, and so finally I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump up on the table. I'm going to leap up on the table. I'm just going to get the pants out of the way. And so I go and I leap up on the table on my knees. My knees go on the formica, and right as I do that, I don't know how this happened, but when I did that move, suddenly my right foot popped out of the pants, and I was like, they just came out, and I just held my foot, my bare, shaved, gross foot, with the toenail fungus on it, in their faces, and I went, oh my God, my foot popped out of my pants, like it was part of my act. And they continued to stare, and I'm shaking my crotch in their faces. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I started to pull my gross, stretched out Hanes boxer shorts off, and they're like, hold my crotch, I'm really gonna blow them away. I don't know why I thought they would let me do that on TV. And so anyway, it was at that point that something really unfortunate happened. We learned that the table that I had jumped up on was not meant to be jumped up on. It quickly moved forward in their direction like this with my weight pulling it towards them, and it didn't crush their legs or injure them or anything, but they held it with their hands and they went, oh, like this. And I began to slide at full speed, nude, like this, right towards them, and I couldn't reach up to grab anything to stop myself or I would have exposed my genitals in their faces. So the really bad part was, I don't know how the universe aligned to make this all happen, but my right toe was the first thing that was going to hit them, and it was pointed because I was so tense, and the woman was on the right. My big toe, like a bullseye, went fungus first, plunging straight into this woman's ample, pudgy belly button. And I mean all the way in to the base. And that's what stopped everything. I was stuck, they were holding the table, and I was... The look on her face was like, you know in a horror movie when somebody gets stabbed, and they don't show the stab, they show their face, and it's a look of like pain and horror, but also resignation. Her mouth is like a sideways moon with the lower teeth exposed, and her eyes were like little things like this, and she was going, and I looked over at the guy, and he's going, ooh, and I'm going, and I couldn't do anything. Finally, the guy gets the strength to push the table back up. I fall back. The woman doesn't scream or yell or cry or anything like that. She just quickly stands up, and when she does, my toe pops out of her navel, and I swear it makes it sound like, boop. And she just gets up and she runs out of the audition room holding her navel with both hands. They didn't ask me to read any lines after that. I figured the audition was over. I got up and I thanked the guy for his time, and I left, and when I walked out, I was still holding my one leg attached to the pants, my underwear in front of my crotch. I was mooning him in a sense that I was like, thank you. And when I got outside, I saw that there were about 4 gorgeous 23-year-old, straight, muscly, tan guys with mullets from New Jersey who had breakaway pants who were going to audition for the role. I took a long subway ride home, and when I got home, my roommate was there, the one who had screwed me. And I opened the door and he looked up at me and he didn't say, "How'd the audition go?" or "Did you get the part?" Or he just looked up at me and my ex-homeless, escaped convict roommate goes, "The cat died." So our little cat died. We had it cremated, and a few days later we had a memorial service for it in the park. And the day of the memorial service, afterwards I ran home in the middle of the afternoon to see the episode of The Young and the Restless that I was casting the part for, but obviously they didn't call back. And I wanted to see which 23-year-old gorgeous straight guy from New Jersey they cast as a stripper. And it got to the scene with the bachelorette party in the restaurant, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. It turns out that the writers must have rethought the scene. Because instead of getting surprised by a stripper, she was instead surprised by a clown. Thank you.